Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? Well, I think I may have almost waited to the end here to show you one of my favorite flipping baits of all time. It's one I really kind of gotten away from the last couple years. But just going through it again, I realized I've got to get this more back. I kind of flip it and pitch it occasionally. I just haven't used it as much as I did when they first came out. And really, I've got two versions of essentially the same bait. And these packages are old. I'm sure they don't look like it anymore. I know you can definitely get it from Netbait. And what I'm talking about is the Paca Craw. And as I said, I know that's an old pack. I think I've got some that might be somewhat newer. I know now it's American Bait Works, Netbait, and it's all bait fuel stuff. So how much they've changed, I'm not sure. I haven't bought them in a while. As you can see here, I've got a lot. But there's also a version that was really the first version I ever used, and that was the 4.5-inch Wacky Craw from Wacky Worm in Pennsylvania. If you guys know the store, have been there, and know their baits, they're awesome. And this was the first one I used, and then all of a sudden the Netbait came out, and to me they were kind of the same. And I know this is a 4.5-inch bait, and I believe this is a 5, but when you look at them, they're pretty much the same. There's some subtle differences on the claws, but they're pretty much the same bait. But I don't know if Wacky Worm is still making them. I think they kind of stopped there, and I would buy these. You'd go there and they'd have like these, I don't even know, I guess these are, I don't know if these are 50 packs or 100 packs what they were, but they were dirt cheap, and it's a great bait, and they had some cool colors. So whenever I'd go to the store, I'd always grab a couple of the big bags, and I got a ton. So this might take a while, but if you guys have never thrown or flipped and pitched the Wacky Craw before, or the Paca Craw before, this is, as I said, I don't know if the packaging is still like that. It may have changed again, but the Paca Craw, it's a 5-inch bait. So this is a color I love. This is a green pumpkin candy. So as you can see, it's essentially a craw bait. You know, you've just got the body of the bait. The end of it is a solid plastic there. So for flipping and pitching, it's perfect. And you've just got the two claws, and that is it. And these claws have a lot of action. So as I said, the Wacky Craw is a 4.5-inch bait. This is just plain old green pumpkin. So it's a little smaller, not much. When you hold them next to each other, to me, they almost look exactly the same. They say that's a 4.5-inch and this is a 5, but I don't know. Does that look any different to you guys? I mean, maybe. It's certainly not a 1/2 inch difference. To me, they look like they're the same, but whatever. I'm not going to mince words over a 1/2 inch. We'll just say they're both 5-inch baits. But I'll go over the little differences on the claws here in a sec. But if you guys have never flipped and pitched this bait, it's excellent. So if you look at it, it doesn't get any simpler than that. You've got the body of the bait, and this is all hollow on the inside. But then the end here is just a little bit, this is more solid plastic. So, you know, for your hooks, it works perfectly. And these two flappers going down through weeds and things and next to cover are killer. This is a great flipping bait. I'm surprised it took me so long to get to it, because it's one of my favorites. And as I said, I just haven't thrown it as much in recent years, but there was a few years there early when these came out. Got a little piece of plastic in there. When this was my #1 go-to flipping bait. When I lived in Jersey, you'd go to the lakes with a lot of good weeds, just flip this in there, killer. So I'm not really sure where to start, because I've got a ton of them. So let me just go through. I'll go through a couple of the boxes of the Paca Craw, and then I'll show you the Wacky Craw too. And as I said, if you live near Wacky Worm, I think they're having their usual spring sale, which if I lived in Jersey still, I would definitely be going one of the days. If they still have them, they may have them in these big packs sitting there, but I'm sure they're probably pretty cheap. Grab some if they still make them. I'm not sure if they still make them, but you can always get the Paca Craw from Netbait. Here's a couple of the boxes I got. Now, I'm not going to remember the exact names of all these colors, but I'll just go through them quick. So, just looking at the Paca Craw, one of my favorite colors is this watermelon spice color. It's kind of like a watermelon with red flake, and then it's got the orange belly. This was my probably my #1 color. I had this and another one that I really liked a lot. You know, a lot of like, I was just looking on like a Tackle Warehouse, and they don't even have that many. Even on the Netbait site, they get maybe 10, 12 colors. This is when they first started. When Netbait first started, they were coming out with a ton of colors, like just like a smoked blue flake. I think they called this like Potomac blue. I'm not going to remember the exact name of these colors, but it doesn't matter. You can't get them anymore anyway. I think it's just kind of the basic colors. But I'll just show you the ones I got here. Let's see. This is kind of like a pumpkin. Just good old green pumpkin. Can't go wrong with that. Actually, this might be Summer Craw. It's green pumpkin on one side, and it's like a watermelon on the other. I think that might be what they called Summer Craw. It's like a green pumpkin and then a watermelon on the other side. Because that's green pumpkin over there. This is like a green pumpkin red flake. Not a good color. A black with blue flake. Just traditional, just straight black, which can be really good at times. Those dirty water conditions. And this is the one, I'm pretty sure this is Alabama Craw. I'm not sure. When I go through the bags, we'll be able to, but it was, you know, green pumpkin on one side and orange on the other. No flake or anything, just a black flake. And the Netbait ones, I could always tell a difference between just the subtle differences on the claws that I'll show you, and then it does say Netbait on the back there. And I think these are both Alabama Craw ones. This is like that Okeechobee Craw. The blue on one side, the sapphire blue, and then the green on the bottom, and then the green pumpkin on top. It's a good color. You know I love the watermelon candy, so here's a watermelon candy. You know I love that color. Great flipping and pitching color right there. That's one box. That's one box of the Paca Craws right there. This one has another one of my colors. This I believe it was called, let me see if I can remember. I'm not sure. I think I got some bags of it. I think it was Cajun Craw or something like that. Yeah, Cajun Crawdad. This color is awesome. This Cajun Crawdad color. This was great back in the day. I used to take this when I lived in Jersey at a Monksville Reservoir and flip this in the weeds. Killer. Killer. Even had a few muskies steal them. This is like their crawfish color. Pretty good one too. One I liked a lot with that flake in there. That's a good one. Let's see. I think I have this is a bunch of those watermelon spices. That's a color I throw the most. So I've got like one big section of those. These ones, it's actually a little lighter on the green pumpkin. Those other ones might have been out in the sun a little bit. Oh, let's see. Good old plain old watermelon. This is like, I believe this is like a green pumpkin candy. Like a green pumpkin candy. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it, compare it to the ones in the bags. I'll show you the ones in the bags and I'm done. And to me, this is like, I don't know if this was just a green pumpkin with purple flake, but it looks like there's some purple and some black flake, definitely. Maybe some gold too. That could be another watermelon candy type green pumpkin candy. Watermelon red. Got that one. I'm not sure what this guy is. Pretty cool though. I'm not sure what color that one is, but it's a cool one. They had so many colors back in the day. Tons of colors. Tons of colors. That, I believe, is just, I don't even know what that one is. That might be more of that, Summer Craw one there. Showed you that one. I'm not sure what this color was. Maybe I'll have some of these in bags still, but it was kind of like a watermelon candy on top and like that brown on the belly. That was a cool color. And this guy is a cool one. That green flake in there. As I said, I don't remember the names of all these colors. They don't make them anymore anyway. But that's like box number Box number 2 of just the Paca Craws from Netbait. And as I said, this is when they had a ton of colors. Whenever I saw a new color, I would get it and flip and pitch it, because this was my go-to bait for years. Now let me just show you the bags. And as I said, the packaging has definitely changed. Like, this is definitely a Wacky worm bag, but when I look in here, I'm going, oh, look at all these June bug Wacky worms. And then I look at them, I go, well, it says Netbait on it. So they're all June bug Netbaits. So somehow, maybe I threw it in the bag. Maybe I had a big bag and I just put them in there, but whatever. Let's see. So here's the packaging that was old. Here's the old packaging. So when you first would get them, there's your old Netbait. And that's the, excuse me, Alabama Craw, which is a good color, you know, because that's got orange on it. You know I'm going to like it. Green pumpkin on one side, orange on the other. And I used to, you know, flip and pitch these with like a 4-aught EWG hook, whatever size weight I thought I needed for the cover. Just flip it into the weeds and hold on. Here's the watermelon candy. Let's see how it looks on here. As I said, this is the old packaging. There's that watermelon candy color you know that I love to throw. Let's see what we got here. The crawfish color I showed you. Got a couple bags of those, a couple of them left in a bag. I can't fit in the box. That's a great color. You know I love that one with that orange flake in there. Here's one, I don't know. A Burra Coyote. Got me. I got it at some point. Maybe that was one of those colors in there. I wasn't sure what it was. And when I look at it, yeah, this is the one that's in that bag. I wasn't sure what it was. I don't know if you guys could read that. I don't think I'm saying it right. Oh, these were only $3.49 a pack back in the day. But it's a really cool color. It's like a watermelon with purple and I guess gold flake. It's a cool one. A Burra Coyote. I don't make them like that anymore as far as colors go. Much more limited. Chartreuse pumpkin. I know I showed you that one in the box there. Good old black blue. I'm pretty sure I showed you a black blue. If you guys like black with the blue on the other side, I think I showed you one of those. If not, maybe I need to put some of these in one of the boxes. I am starting another box because I realized I had so many that were not in boxes to take on the boat, or I could just throw a couple bags in. It's that sapphire blue. It's really nice. That's a great color. It's sapphire blue. That's the one I showed you, which I thought was kind of like a smoke blue. They call that sapphire blue. I think I showed you that one already. Potomac blue. That was the one I showed you, the kind of like a, yeah, that's that Potomac blue. Okeechobee Craw, I showed you that one. There it is in the pack. As I said, the old pack. Now this one here, that was a color I wasn't sure that. Now that says black. Obviously, it's not it. So whatever bag it was in must have got torn up. But that's a really cool color. I'm not sure what they call that color. Called that color, I should say. Oh, let's see. Black Shadow. I don't know if I had that in the bag or not. In one box or not. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I did show you that one. The black on one side, and then that sapphire blue on the other side. It's not even so much a sapphire blue, but like a blue with like silver flake. They called that one Black Shadow. I don't know how many different colors they had back in the day. There's that Summer Craw. www.pacacraw.com. That's an old sticker on there. So there's that, yeah. Yeah, that Summer Craw. A green pumpkin on one side, watermelon on the other. Very, very cool. And there's still all the best colors they still make. there's a couple I saw on Tackle Warehouse that I have never even heard of that I might grab just to try them out because they look pretty cool. There's that sapphire blue again. I showed you that. Let's see. Green pumpkin candy, green pumpkin candy, green pumpkin candy. I showed you the green pumpkin candy. This is, as I said, the newer packaging. May even be different now. I don't know. I'll get some and then I'll show you the new packaging when it comes in. But a great color. You guys know I love watermelon candy, green pumpkin candy. They're just great summertime flipping colors. I think these are actually the 2 bags. I think these are a few of the bags that I had in the boat last year. That was the short. And the watermelon spice, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of those because it's an awesome color. They still make this color, and I'm not surprised. If you buy one, I would pick this one, that watermelon spice. It's awesome. Catches them everywhere. It's a great crayfish imitator. That watermelon, that green pumpkin candy, that watermelon spice, and this Cajun Crawdad. You see these old packs that are kind of falling apart are the colors I use the most of the Netbait. But you can see with that black on the one side, that orange on the other. Great color, thick weeds, water that's a little murky. This is awesome. Highly recommend it. Now that, my friends, is Netbait's version. And actually, I'll leave one of these out. But before I started throwing the Netbait, there was Wacky Worm in Pennsylvania. And that was the first crawfish flipping bait of theirs that I used. And it was great. It was great. And they had some different colors. And then, like I said, when Netbait came along, and then all of a sudden they weren't making, maybe they were too similar, and they were told to stop making them. But they're similar, but they're different. And I'll show you what I mean here. Hopefully, it'll show well on the video. Like this is a sprayed glass, I think, color they called it. There's the Wacky Worm version, and there's the Netbait version. You look at them, pretty much the same. Now, the Netbait version, their claws have like those little ridges on them, if you can see them in the video. They have those little ridges on there, on the front and on the back. The body, to me, is pretty much exactly the same. Now, the only difference in their claws is they have the little bumps on them for Wacky Worm. That's how I know the difference between the two. Now, granted, the Netbait says Netbait right on the belly, which makes it easy. But the only difference is Wacky Worm has the claws that have these little bumps on them. Oops, I'm shaking the camera, sorry. So that's really the only difference. Now, as I said, I don't know if Wacky Worm still makes these. If you watch this video and go, wow, I gotta get some of them, you can give them a call if you're not in the area. If you are in the area, I think I just looked on their website. I was hoping that they maybe be on there, but they're not. I don't think their website's changed since they started it. But you can see if they have. I'm sure they get the Netbait ones, so you can see if they have their old Wacky Craws. If they still make them, I don't know. It can't hurt to look. And if you're there for the spring sale, if they got them, grab them, because those packs are a big savings. But I'll just show you a few of the colors here, like and I'm not going to remember the names of them unless they're very obvious. Like, to me, this is just a green pumpkin with purple flake. This one I know is a black neon, color you know I love to throw. This one, I'm not sure what they called this one. I do have a few bags, so I might be able to come back to it. But it was like a pumpkin on one side and like a greenish, almost chartreuse on the belly. This was just like a pumpkin, like a brown, and then an orange, which I liked. It was a good crawfish imitator color. Red shad was always good. Red shad is a great color in different flipping baits. Let's see, black and blue. Black on one side, blue on the belly. This is their red bug color, which is pretty good. It's a good one. And so this is the Wacky Worm Wacky Craw version. I showed you this one before. They're, I don't know if a sour grape, or when I get the bags, I'll be able to remember for sure. This one I think is just a watermelon gold flake. Don't quite recall. I'll show you the bags though with the colors on. That to me is just looks like just good old green pumpkin. I can't screw that one up. And this one looks like watermelon red. Watermelon red flake. And I'll tell you, I've mentioned this a lot lately. The one that was really killer. Certain lakes, when it's real dirty, the water's real murky. If you live in an area and you have lakes, you know they're always really dirty. This white one. And I don't think Netbait makes a white one. But Wacky Worm did. And I'll tell you, for my tournament years, fishing dirty water lakes, this was my #1 bait. Flipping this, bass would just come flying out of the weeds on some dirty water lakes in Jersey I fished and just crush this bait because they could see it. They could see it real well. Do they think it's a bait fish? I don't know. But don't sleep on flipping and pitching a white craw or a white tube or a white whatever you're throwing. White jigs can be really good sometimes too. But this color is, I mean, of all these colors, I probably caught the most on that one right there. But I've also thrown it the most. So that's I showed you this. So that's the Wacky Craw version. Now let me show you some of these bags. And then I can kind of give you a better idea of some of the colors. Like green pumpkin, I showed you that one. The red bug, I showed you guys that one. For all I know, their colors are still, or bags are still the same. There's that black and blue. What'd I say? Yeah, sour grape. There's that sour grape one. It's a cool color. That June bug on one side and the green on the underside. That's that sour grape. That's a good one. Let's see. That one says watermelon red flake, and I think that's what this is too. This is like a huge, like, I don't know if remember if they were 50 counts or 100 counts. I don't remember. But I got plenty of watermelon red to last me the rest of my life. And that's one's gold pumpkin. Okay, so that one I showed you, that was the color gold pumpkin, I called it. Gold pumpkin. So it does have gold flake in it. It's got pumpkin, and then it's got kind of like a chartreuse belly. Cool color. Did well with this one. Now, that's some of the small bags. I'll show you some of these big bags. I have enough Wacky Craws to last me the rest of my life. Now, here's a bag of red shad. Now, I'm not going to take these out and count them. I don't remember if these were 50 counts, but I remember when they were selling them, it was like, I don't know, $9 or $10 maybe for 50. I forget what it was. It was so cheap. So whenever I go there, I grab a couple bags. Especially, I think when they stopped making them, they made them even cheaper. But that's just a big bag of the red shad. I'm going to assume they're 50 counts. Here's the count of the white, but I probably bought 2 of them because when I was going through all my baits, I found this bag of them, and I found this bag of them. So I think that's probably 100 of them that I got because I threw it so much. Let's see. This is watermelon gold. I think I showed you that color. That's a big bag of that. That gold pumpkin chartreuse, which is like that, I think it's kind of like that other one I showed you. Yeah. And this is actually the small one, the small size, which is a really good trailer. And I know Netbait makes a small size too. The baby Paca Craw. That's like their version, the Wacky Worm version. So I do have a couple of the small versions I'll show you too as I go through this. Then they had these big bags later on. And it says 4.5-inch Wacky Craw dark root beer candy. Dark root beer candy. Which is a really cool color. Almost looks like a... Yeah, I was going to say, that one's a black neon. That's in the wrong bag. Dark root beer candy. That's pretty cool. You know your baits when you see one out of a pile that is not in the right spot. This is one called Dark Root Beer Gold, which was, as I said, when they had these 50, I don't know if they were 50 or 100 counts, they were so cheap that they were hard to pass up, and they had all these cool colors. They may still have them. They may still have them. So now's a good time to go to Wacky Worm and see if they got them. Plus they have their big sale when everything's on sale. That's a black neon, so this guy's gonna go in that bag. That's where he belongs. I wish I could tell you if they were 50 or 100. I want to say 50. I don't know if 100 would probably fit in his bag. It's a pretty good sized bait. Let's see, Black Shadow. Showed you that one, I think. Take a look at it. Oh, this is the small guy. I'll show you this one. Here's that mini one, which I said, good trailer. I don't really flip and pitch the small one much, but if you like it as a crawfish trailer. I think, what do we got here? Here's another bag. This is like another bag. That's watermelon red. I think I showed you that. And I believe I showed you these smaller bags. So that, I think, is all of them at 25 minutes. That's a lot of flipping craws right there. A lot of flipping craws, which, as I said, I have a lifetime supply. But if you guys have never tried this bait, I highly encourage you to try it. It is awesome. It's a great flipping and pitching bait. Goes through the cover well. These claws make a lot of good action on the water. If you've got heavy cover, flipping and pitching them in there, it's excellent, excellent. And the net bait, I definitely know you can get. I just figured I'd show you the Wacky Craw because it's like, it brings back a lot of good memories for me. It's kind of like a classic bait. I don't know if Wacky Worm, as I said, still makes it. If you go to the store, you probably know already. I certainly got a ton, but it's a great bait. And as you saw there, the differences are very, very subtle. Just a little bit of difference on the claws there. A little bit of difference on the claws, but basically the same bait. And this is the first one I used, was the Wacky Craw. And then I remember the net bait. I saw that and started trying that, and then that watermelon spice color. Between the watermelon spice color, back in my tournament days, I would say between the watermelon spice color from Netbait and this white one from you tell me one bait. I guess that does look like it's a little bigger. So maybe theirs is 4.5 and theirs is 5. So, but it's a very slight. But these two colors right here, this watermelon spice from Netbait and the white one from Wacky Worm, won me a lot of money back in the days. Back in the day of tournament fishing, back in the early days of tournament fishing. But that's it, guys. I really thought you'd like to see that. It's a great bait. It's a great bait. If you've never tried it and you want to give it a shot, that watermelon spice color from Netbait. I mean, they had a lot of scent in them then when it was just Netbait. I don't know. They had scent, pork fat, salt. I'm assuming they're still making them the same way. Now it's just bait fuel. I don't know if it's just bait fuel. They may smell the same. I'm not sure. But awesome, awesome, awesome flipping and pitching bait. The Netbait Paca Craw. And if you can still find them out there, or you guys know, you guys are back in the day when Wacky Worm was making the Wacky Craw. Great baits. Just fantastic baits. Get yourself a 4/0 or a 5/0 hook. Texas rig it. Flip and pitch it around cover. Weeds, laydowns, docks, boats. And just watch your line go flying. What's nice when you flip these into the weeds and then your pole just goes and just bends over. That's a fun bite. That's a fun bite. And this is killer. This is killer. I really have to get it back in the mix more. I always throw a couple bags in the boat, but I don't necessarily always go to them as much as I used to. This used to be, for years, this was my #1 flipping and pitching bait. And it's still great. Still great. I highly recommend you give it a try. And if you want to try one color, that watermelon spice color is awesome. If you see another color there, like that Alabama Craw is really good. If you see another color that you really like, give it a shot. Give it a shot. They're not really that expensive. It's not an overly expensive bait. And I want to check out some of the new ones from Netbait with the bait fuel in them, and some of the colors I saw on Tackle Warehouse that I haven't thrown before. Because as you can see, I'm low and I need more colors of the bait to throw. But that's it. So any questions, let me know. As I said, I don't know for a fact if Wacky Worm is still making them. You could give them a call if you really want to try their version and see if they still make it. they might think you're nuts and say, what the heck are you talking about? We haven't made that bait in 10 years, but wouldn't be surprised. If you live near Wacky Worm in it's I think Gilbert, PA. If you live near that and you're looking to take a ride, their store is absolutely awesome. I doubt it's changed. I haven't been there in years. I can't, say, it may be totally different. I doubt it, because all the years I went, it never changed. But they have a wall of plastics when you walk into the left that goes the whole length of the store, and any kind of soft plastic you can think of name brands, their own brands, and they may still have some of these laying around. And if they do, and they're just, selling them on closeout or whatever, if they don't make them anymore, you probably get them for dirt cheap. And you get one of these, 50 or whatever bag, how many are in a bag, it'll last you forever practically, because I ain't never gonna run out. I could flip these every day the rest of my life and I'm never gonna run out of them. But it's a great bait. Absolutely fantastic flipping and pitching bait. If you haven't tried it, I recommend you give it a shot. If you're looking to, you certainly have gotten a lot of options for flipping and pitching soft plastic baits from all the videos this winter I've been doing on flipping and pitching baits. And I still got some more I found over there. I haven't even got through some of those Berkeley ones yet I had, or Power Team that I went through. But we'll get there, because I still got, a couple feet of snow on the ground, so I got time. But that's it, guys. So any questions, please let me know. If you have any experience with the bait, if you have different rigging, how different ways you guys like to fish these. And if you old school guys who live in the Northeast have been to Wacky Worm and have tried theirs, let's hear about it. That's it. So please like this video. Please share it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Welcome aboard, and I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.